Well, welcome everyone to my channel. It looks like Meghan Markle's American Riviera Orchard is a bust. Yes, it's going down. Who did not see this explosion coming? I did. And we're going to talk about it. Let's get into it. These are the moments that we kind of have to just sit back and say, yeah, we saw this coming. We saw it coming. Meghan is not going to be moving forward with her American Riviera Orchard. It's in trouble. It's a jam of a fiasco for her. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today in this article. And it's giving us all the 411, everything we need to know about why it didn't work. And we kind of can look in between the lines and figure it out. Why this did not work. Can we not look and see? Yeah, jam. Oh yeah, okay. What you got for us, Meghan Markle? What you got? So Meghan reportedly is struggling to keep her business venture American Riviera Orchard up and running due to the poor public response in her line of strawberry jams. Yeah, and yeah, it's jam. All you did was ended up helping the king improve his sales of jam. Literally, that's what happened. She provoked a frenzy because there was so much retaliation against Meghan in anything she attempts to do because of her bad, stinky, stankin' attitude towards the royals. They were coming together. And they were revolting and they were saying, okay, Meghan Markle, this is how we feel about your jam. We hate your jams and everything that you're trying to do so much. Because of what you've done to our royal family, we're going to go sell out and buy the king's jam. Just in protest of your trying to start some kind of jam frenzy. That's what they did. That's what people did. And I can't wait to try mine when I go to England. Thanks to my lovely friend, Michelle, who has picked out my jam for me. And I'm going to do a video on the jam, the king's jam, because I'm provoked to do it because of what Meghan is doing. Because this is clearly a sign that you have a bad attitude. There is something wrong with your behavior that motivates people to support the king rather than you, Meghan Markle. Girl, let me just tell you right now, here and now, you got some problems. And just maybe if you just started to listen to the people who are speaking out and giving you some advice, giving you some information that you could use to better yourself, you would probably be in a winning position right now. But you have done so many things wrong that people are not ever going to support anything you do, Meghan. Ever. It will not happen. And the only time people will support you, Meghan, is when you are speaking badly about the royal family. When you are doing just nefarious things. When you're just being a bad person. When you're just being nasty. When you're just not nice. You're being so evil and mean to air out all the dirty laundry that you were privy to with inside the royal family. Like they gave you the privilege to be with them behind closed doors. Think about that. And what did you do? You went out blabbing. Let me tell you what those royals did to me. Let me tell you, they racist. Look what the royals did to me. You could not wait to take advantage of your privilege to be behind the closed walls of the royal family, that you had to use it to maximize your own self-branding. You used it as an opportunity to elevate yourself because you couldn't do it or you weren't having the successes as quickly as you had hoped, being a struggling actress who was on a decent show for a while. You were making decent money. Had you stayed on that path and used humility and just did you, boo, you would have been sailing. But you had nefarious ways about you that caused you to, you miscalculated And you thought taking Harry away from his family was going to help elevate you to some superstar status. And yeah, you failed. You failed. I don't feel sorry. So much so, yeah, I'm going to be pulling out my violin today. Because we're going to have to play some music for you, girl, because this is just tragedy. Tragedy for you. Girl, what you thinking? This is what Meghan has done. She has filed hundreds of trademark patents for American Riviera Orchard, suggesting that she plans to sell all these different products, including this homewares, makeup, fragrance, dog accessories. Oh my goodness, woman, what is wrong? You were in the royal family, for goodness sakes. And you've reverted to wanting to sell items. You wanted to brand and be a salesperson. I mean, I cannot understand. I cannot understand this woman. Now, you know, it looks like part of the problem was when she did these 50 jars of jam, she sent them out to these people that she thought were going to just be like, oh, we love your jam, girl. We love your jam. You thought they were going to be so happy to get it, and then they were going to do some advertisement on their Instagram. And yeah, only about 10% of the people responded to that. And she was in tears over it. I've talked about this before. She was not happy because it wasn't well received. And, you know, you have to almost think, well, who are you? You're not somebody that has a brand already that you can now brand wares. What? You can't use the royal logo, you can't use the royal name, you can't do anything that keeps you attached to royalty to sell your wares. And this is why it's flopped. And you thought that you were going to be able to just, by mere fact of, okay, well, American Riviera Orchard, okay, here it is, that people were going to translate that to wanting to buy your things. But why would they want to? With your nasty attitude and the way you treat your family and your father. People really are not supporting Meghan Markle because of how she has behaved. They see a nasty, narcissistic, no good for nothing trying to take away all the things that her husband had to, you know, to live by. They gave him his worth. She's taken everything from Harry. Like, people can see this from her. And this is why they're not supporting her. You know, and people look at Meghan and they think, why do people not really support her? Why don't people like her? Because, folks, Meghan has a history of using people. And we can see what an opportunistic woman she is by her social climbing. And it just doesn't read well for people. So the article goes on to say that Meghan is very upset about how people have received her brand, and that the business was not expected to move forward. This is what they are saying. She's very upset about what is happening with the brand American Riviera Orchard. She is just not happy about how it was received. And it's like she's not motivated to do anything with the brand because she believes anything that she puts out is going to flop. The jam was also a bit of a laughing stock. I mean, she sent it off to 50 friends and only a few of them replied. And it's almost like your head got so big. Your head blew up. It swelled up to just proportions that were just out of this world. And we were just looking at, dang, look, you see how big Meghan's head is? Like, she really got a big head. She's really just off the charts thinking she's all that in a tic-tac. And then this happens, and now she's deflated. She's deflated. Deflated. But has she learned anything? I don't know. I think the head is still privy to being swelled back up again once the tears have dried up. Because she's not seeming to learn anything from these tears, being upset. It's a great moment. It's a great learning moment for Meghan to understand where she went wrong, why people are not supporting her, why did it flop, why did the friends that she sent the jams to did not respond. It's a great way to get some research and figure things out. it's a great learning moment for Meghan. But I doubt that she'll learn anything and try to propel herself to be better. Not in the cards for her. Among the criticism, social media users lampooned her decision to label each jam 1 through 50, which is typically a technique used for limited edition art prints. Your jam is not an art. It's jam. It's not an art, Meghan. Like she's trying to be all fancy. Like, you know, she was like putting her labels and she's like writing. Try to be all fancy. I look at Meghan and I think what she and her husband are trying to do on the backs of the royal family with their hate, with their not being kind to their families, they will never succeed. And the only way they ever succeeded was with Harry's book, throwing your family under a bus, the Oprah interview, throwing your family under a bus, telling lies, making up things, and then the Netflix documentary doing the exact same thing. So you did a book, you did an interview, and you did a documentary, all to slam the royal family. Those things did well, but every single thing they did outside of the 3 things that I just mentioned did poorly. They bombed. What does that tell you? Your worth is only in your relationship to the royal family. And unless you're talking about the royals, you're never going to do well. And no one's going to listen to you talk about the royals unless you got something nasty, not nice to say, because we just got to see the train wreck. Like, what are you saying about the royals? We love the royals. How dare you say what you're saying right now, woman? What's wrong with you? And we're just looking at you thinking, what? Really? For real? Yeah, but you try to, get out and talk about Live to Lead and the Invictus Games and your jams and, your book and all these other non-creative things that really say anything about you. People are not interested. Your worth is with the royal family. So don't try to tell us that is something is about you that's so special that we should listen to you when you deviate from the royals. You're not interesting at all, and you have no talent. Not only has her jams failed, but she's also having a lot of trouble finding a CEO to run her business for her. She's having a lot of trouble finding a chef. Can we all just kind of point out the obvious thing why she's having trouble? Because she doesn't want to listen to people that have the experience. Meghan Markle, in my opinion, is a know-it-all. She thinks she knows everything better than the people who have actually studied and have gone to school and who are professionals in their careers of whatever it is that Meghan would use them for. She cannot validate people in their experience to give them enough credit to know that they know what they're talking about. Leave them alone. Let them do their job. And it says a lot about how she treated her staff when she was within the royal family. Because if she can't find professional people that will work for her now, it says a lot about how she treated people that did work for her when she was with the royal family. We do understand that these bullying report has come out that the royal family had to change the way they did their operations because they never imagined that someone would come into the royal family and would be so egregiously just nasty to the staff. Allegedly, Meghan was. And this is the problem that she will always have. She doesn't know how to have empathy. She doesn't know how to be kind to people. She doesn't know how to, just kind of be the person who is grateful for whatever it is that you get. She's got this higher than thou attitude that's going to get her nowhere. Girl, you're going nowhere fast. Some of them have gone along to see how it is, but they say she is so meticulous about everything. The surprising update comes weeks after Meghan had was taken aback by negative feedback about herself personally and still feels unsure about carving out a role as a non-working royal. The one fly in the ointment is Meghan's new internet brand, American Riviera Orchard. She was in tears when the brand launched. And her new Jan was widely mocked for being expensive and nothing special. Yeah. She's even come to realize that at this point, she thinks that anything and everything that she will do will be unfairly mocked. And yeah, you will. No one's ever going to take you seriously, woman. You're just washed up and done. And you know what I have to say to that, folks? This is a special piece that I'm doing on behalf of the closing and the finishing finale of the once American Riviera Orchard that at one point was going to move forward, but it is no longer going to move forward. It looks like it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. And a lot of people, I'm sure, are quite sad about this, and we should do what we do. Yeah, that was lovely, wasn't it? Yeah. Unfortunately, it is what it is.